Hey guys, today I'm doing my first video in a long time. I wanted to come on here and talk about my first trimester and how it went for me. Now with a baby bump on the way. No wait, it's already here. The baby bump is here, but you know, the baby is on the way, you know. Yeah. So, I just wanted to give everyone a recap of what I went through, and hopefully some of you girls out there who are going through your first pregnancy or your second or your third, I hope you guys can relate and take some info. So I wanted to tell you guys my experience. First of all, I'm 16 weeks now, so I'm far into my not far into, but I'm quite into my second trimester. How I told my husband, it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting. I was doing a polygraph for the police department, and then the police department, I go and I'm ready, I'm hyped, I'm super excited. This is just another step onto what I want to do for my career. I'm going to do my polygraph. The tester, or I don't know, I know they have their own name, but she asks me, hey, is there any possibilities of you being pregnant? My answer was like, no, I don't think so. And as soon as I said, I don't think so, she's like, okay, end of test. You need to go make sure that you're not pregnant. I had to get all these paperwork done before I can go ahead and take it, get a release from my physician saying that I was okay to take it. So at that point, I was super frustrated, and because I was looking forward to this day for so long, trying to prepare and getting all these things together to get my career started with law enforcement. So when I went, having that said, I had to take like the day off. I had to do all kinds of things just to get prepped for my polygraph. So it was kind of heartbreaking knowing that I had to redo it, and on top of that, I had to do a bunch of other things to get a go ahead from my physician. And I went. So in the back of my head, I also thought, well, what if I am pregnant? I never really thought that it would happen that quick, because we did want our baby and we were trying. So I didn't think it was gonna happen that quick. Anyways, I went to the store. I ran to CVS. I grabbed like 3 tests. I went back to work, and I went into the restroom. I did a urine test, and then it came out super faint. The lines were faint, and I'm like, I don't think so. It's faint. And then I called my nurse, and she comes in and she's like, well, it's faint, you know. I need to see what one looks like without any lines so we can compare, because it was super faint that it almost looked clear. So then I came back and I got one that was super clear, and it was like white. I mean, you girls know what they look like, and you know that little patch is extremely white. I mean, there's no difference. So she's like, you know what? Wait a couple days to see if you get your period. And I'm like, I'm very impatient, and I want to know like what's gonna happen now. So I still had a bunch of other tests, and I'm like, nope, I'm not waiting till I get my period, because from that day till I was gonna get my period, it was gonna be like a week. So first of all, I wanted to know ASAP. Second of all, I wanted to get the whole process done with the polygraph in case I wasn't pregnant. I did another test, right? Maybe like 10 minutes later. I could not wait, not even one hour. I did it like 10 minutes later, and the lines were faint again. So I'm like, no, something's up. And then I think we did a third one, and then my nurse comes in and she was like, yeah, I think you're pregnant, because the 2 lines showed up. So that was that. And I was like, I was super excited. The polygraph went behind. It was like on the back burner at that moment. I was extremely happy. I didn't know who I was gonna tell first. I didn't know how we were gonna tell everyone. I called my husband, and he's at work, and then we were trying to get pregnant, and before this happened, before we actually conceived, I started looking up a bunch of YouTube videos on how to announce and how to tell your husband, on surprises. I had it like down to the T. I knew what I was gonna do. He wasn't in town. He was at working out of state, so it was like gonna be perfect. I was gonna mail him a box and have him like figure out the announcement. I had it down to the T. And then, life changes and they're like, nope, you ain't gonna do nothing. I got it figured out. Thank you, universe. And I call him and then I tell him, hey honey, what are you doing? And I think like the first words he told me, I don't know if he figured it out because we usually text, and then that day I just called him and he was like, why are you calling me, in his head. But to me, I was just, being casual, asking him how was his day, what he was doing. I was trying to be a little bit deceiving. And it didn't work because I told him, honey, what are you doing? How's your morning going? And then he's like, what's up? What are you gonna tell me? I'm like, that. When he said something like that, I'm like, oh my goodness, he already knows. And then he goes, are you pregnant? I'm like, oh. This was the worst announcement because he already knew. And I don't know how he figured it out because I hadn't told him anything. I told him about the polygraph and that they had sent me back, but I didn't give him too many details of why. So he's like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, yes, babe. And then he's like, oh, great. Then I was expecting like, oh my goodness. I was waiting for him to cry and jump up and down and hug whoever was near him. He's like, oh yay, I'm excited. So what now? I'm like, because I was so happy. I was like full of happiness and just, I was expecting a different reaction. And that's my husband. He likes to just be subtle. And I know that he was extremely happy. Just a little different happy. We then went ahead and I think around Mother's Day, we announced it to everyone else. We had a little bag with some onesies in the bag, and at that time too, I think it was Mexican Mother's Day, and it's around my mom's birthday. So we took her flowers and we took her a little bag with, it said like Happy Mother's Day or something. We went and it was the same, it was a celebration day. So regardless, she had no idea because we knew that it was her birthday and we were gonna celebrate her birthday as well. We took her flowers, we took her that gift bag, and we went. We give it to her. She was sitting down, super casual, and then we're like, open the gift, and I'll put in the video. It was a funny reaction. We were totally expecting her reaction. And she starts opening it, and then like everyone's recording. Before this, I had already told my brothers. My brothers are not really into surprises or anything, so I just text them and I'm like, hey, I'm pregnant. And they're just like, oh, congratulations. That was it. That's my brothers. They're in the same category as my husband. And so when we went, everyone starts recording and everyone already knew, and I feel like my whole family was at my mother's house because it was also her birthday. So everyone was there, and then everyone pulls out their cell phones and cameras and they're like expecting a great reaction. And my mom, she's like, what's going on? Why is everyone recording me? Little did she know, she had some news coming up. So she pulls it out, she pulls out the onesies, and her reaction reaction was priceless. She's like very, again, my mom's very very cultured. She's very black and white. She's very old school. I don't know what her expectations of this whole situation was, but she's like, no. And we're like, yes, no, yes, no. And then she finally looks at my husband. She's like, Eve, is she pregnant? And he's like, yes. So our reaction was like bummed. She didn't know what to say. And I don't think my husband knew, because she speaks Spanish and my husband doesn't speak Spanish. I don't think they understood each other's reaction. So that was hilarious. And then everyone else's, my kids, we told them the same way. We gave them the bag with the onesies, and then they were extremely happy. My daughter was crying, and then my son, he thought that the onesies were for him, and he's like, yeah, these don't fit me. And then he's like, oh, they're for his little cousin. And then he just leaves them there. And then we're like, hey, hold on. You're having a baby brother or sister. So then he's like, what? And then he grabs the onesies, he takes them to the room, and then puts them away. So everyone's reaction was great. My husband's family, everyone was super excited. His dad is just like him, super subtle. And then he just asks if we were having twins, and his mom was super excited. We have all the videos of them. His sister couldn't believe it. She was just screaming. And everyone's reaction was pretty awesome. And it really feels good to have, like, you know, a family and friends that really support your milestones in your life and are really happy for you. So we're really grateful for that. During my first trimester, the first 14 weeks, which is the hump you get over, nausea and all that, it was awful for me. I had hyperemesis gravidarum, if that's how you pronounce it, and it's short for HG. So I'll just say HG because I'm not going to try to pronounce something I can't pronounce. HG is a severe nausea that you have during pregnancy. You can't eat, you can't smell anything because everything makes you throw up. Fortunately, this pregnancy, I was able to eat and not throw up every single time. My previous pregnancies, I've thrown up. I used to throw up every single time. Every time I would eat, every time I would smell something, it was awful. Before I got pregnant, I was 138. I'm, mind you, 4'11", which to me, everyone, it's like I was obese, but I felt very healthy. I'll put some pictures here and here. And I feel like at 138, I had lots of muscle. I did have some fat here and there throughout my body, but I felt really healthy. So after I got pregnant, the nausea came right away, and I wasn't eating a lot. So I lost about 10 pounds. I'm not gaining weight, but I'm maintaining it, which the doctor said is okay. I'm now at 128, which was a lot. I lost a lot of muscle. I lost a lot of fat. For some people that do know me and have seen me every day, you can tell in my face, my arms, my legs, that I lost a lot of weight. So that was really hard for me. I used to sleep a lot during the first weeks of pregnancy. I was tired all day, and I think that comes with HG, not having appetite, not eating, being nauseous all day. You don't really have the energy to do much, so you're tired, you're fatigued all day, and honestly, I couldn't even get up from bed. I was working at the time, so I think my body was used to, you know, getting up early and going to work. But when I used to wake up and go into the shower, I started gagging, and just smelling shampoos and smelling soaps would make me nauseous, and I would just always throw up in the shower. And my brother was like, yo, what are you doing? I'm sleeping. I'm like, hello, I'm throwing up, bro. So that was the hardest part. I stopped working out, just because one, I was losing weight, and two, I didn't have the energy to do it. That was really hard because I'm so used to working out. I wasn't working out like every day, but it felt good working out because it was my me time where I would, release stress. So that was hard to get, and I'm still trying to get used to that. I started also doing a pregnancy journal. I thought that was super fun. It was very creative, and it also helped like de-stress. So I'll put a little video of what it looks like and a recap of it right here. It's just basically stats on the pregnancy. I had our first ultrasound as well, so I put it in there. I think it's a great idea just to keep for yourself, and maybe when your baby's older you can give it to them. So that was really cute. I highly suggest to do that. I also did a video of our announcement. That was so fun. It was really fun to put together. It took me forever because it was still motion pictures all in like the whole video. So it took me like 2 hours. And it was super cute. We put it on our Facebook. We have our own group on Facebook of the whole pregnancy, and it's just our closest family and friends. I'll put the video here. It's super cute, and it was very fun to put together. Some of the cravings I had for my first trimester, everything that had lime, everything that was salty, and everything that was spicy. I couldn't eat much, and I didn't have the appetite to eat or crave much. When I did crave something, it was like out of the blue, and it had to be like lime, again, salty stuff. I think when I would crave something, I would automatically go get it because I knew that if I craved it, I was gonna eat it. The other thing, oh my goodness, my breastises. They hurt so much. They are in so much pain because everything is growing. Your tummy is growing. Your body's just changing like crazy, and your breasts are so tender. They hurt a lot because they're prepping you for, when your baby comes. So that really gets in the way of everything. They hurt so much. Still, they kind of like gotten less tender, but during the first trimester, your body just goes into mama mode. It like completely, you can feel it in your whole body. The first thing you start feeling when you get pregnant is tender breasts. So that was another sign of us being pregnant, and it was just awful. So if you can, like put some warm compresses on it, massage them, and it helps a lot as well. I also started sleeping with a bra on because it just, keeps them in place. And before, when I wasn't, I would wake up like sore from one side or another, and it was not fun. My must-haves for the first trimester, my husband ordered me a pregnancy pillow, and I'll link that right here. We got it from Amazon. Very affordable, and it helps so much. It helps with your back and your whole posture when you're sleeping, and it just feels like a relief when you're sleeping on it. So I really highly recommend it. I also recommend like juices. I did a lot of juices because I wasn't eating and stuff. So it just feels like fresh and natural, and it just, to me personally, I really like the feeling of just eating natural stuff, just because lots of condiments would make me also nauseous. So I would go to tropical smoothie often. It was a lifesaver. Post a little update on my tummy, and you guys can see where I'm at. And you guys follow me on Instagram. I'll have a bunch of new posts on there as well. I haven't announced it on Instagram, so this will be exciting. And I hope that you guys continue following me, subscribe, like my videos. I'm really hoping that I can continue doing a lot more videos. We have a bunch of things going on in our lives too. And we have lots of transitions, so life gets in the way right now because we have lots of changes going on, including the baby. So continue watching my videos. I'm hoping that some of you guys can relate to some of the stuff I put out there. And if you mamas are also pregnant, let me know when your due date is, how far along you are, what cravings you guys had, and what was like the worst part of your first trimester. So again, subscribe, go link up to my other videos. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.